she was completely over-medicated at that point, and was in basically a medicated haze day in and day out. Communication was non-existent.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't remember a couple years of, my kids growing up. I mean, I struggle with that still. I think they didn't know what to do with me, so it was, this medication, and I really don't remember a lot of that time. In that time, some good things happened. We had a couple situations where, God actually healed those things. So he healed through, I was watching something on television, and through that, God's saying, okay, throw those things away. You do not need those anymore. And we did. And I had no side effects. I would not tell anyone ever to do that. There are major side effects with stopping those kind of medications abruptly. But it was clearly God at work, and I didn't know about the side effects, which is probably God at work also, because I would have said, I don't think so, God. I'm keeping them. So that's all happening. At that point, I'm starting to use a wheelchair. Found that I didn't want to, but I could do things. I could actually go shopping for my kids' coats or shoes, or trick-or-treating, those things. And then again, we had another time where God intervened. My sister was being baptized, and we were up on stage, and Brian's like, come over here, God's going to heal you, what's going on? People prayed over me, and that happened. About a month later, I had blood work, and everything was normal, or as close to normal as you could get. It was amazing. The reason I bring that up, not only was God working in the midst of this, but there's something dealing with, kind of communication that happened. Because people were praying things like the root issue. And I thought that was physical. But God was doing a spiritual thing too. And it didn't happen all at once. It's been like the past 8 years, of him growing me in that area. But he just showed me that this root of unforgiveness and bitterness, it was just taking up space. And the Holy Spirit could not take up that space. The Holy Spirit couldn't speak through me. I couldn't really speak in love to Adam. I couldn't love him and communicate with him, in that the best kind of way. So, that changed things really in how we were communicating and when things, came up.
And then a lot of crap happened. We were in a prolonged wilderness, and I lose a job during the recession. We have a kitchen flood. It floods half the house. Turns out to be that it was a fire in the dishwasher. So it was very close to going up the wall and burning you guys.
I'm thankful for floods now.
Out of the house, yeah.
It put out the fire.
Yeah, yeah. You battle with uterine cancer and got over that. I lost all the feeling in my legs and some kind of weird nerve accident. I'm back about 75%, but now our daughter has been dealing with 2 years of some kind of weird digestive pain disorder that we're just now getting answers for.
I mean, our life sounds like a country song. I'm thinking like that's just the big stuff, and that's not even including the stuff that happened this last couple of weeks. Our sink dropped down under the counter. How does that happen? Yeah. So I know. So everybody's like thinking, okay, it's almost 7:20. Like I thought we were here for communication. Like why aren't we at our tables yet? Like what's going on? So there was a reason that I just kind of we thought let's just kind of bang out this list of all this really crazy bad stuff that's happened. And I think it's because if we had the tools for communication to communicate with each other better, if we had practiced that before those times happened. I mean, ideally in Eden, we would have been practicing those things. But, even having some practice before that stuff happened, I think that we would have been able to deal with those things better. I think we would have been able to attack those things as a team. And we would eventually get there, but it took a really long time, for it to be us against what was happening. It was us against each other. And so, that was really marriage changing. And that's kind of why we're here. That's why Adam and I feel so passionate about this, because the communication tools and techniques that we learned in real marriage, they were marriage changing for us. It's not perfect still,
It's not what that we're good at them, we just need them.
Yeah, exactly. So we're getting ready now to have all of you have a chance to sort of, practice some techniques. And,
Yeah, so I statements on page 4.3. When communicating, you use you and I statements. What's the difference? Well, we're going to show you. Let's pick a simple topic that might cause conflict in our marriage. Me calling late from work.
or not calling late from work.
Exactly.
All right. So why don't we start with what we call you statements? And I think you'll be able to pick up pretty quickly what that is. So, you always do this. You always do this. You never call. The place closes at 5. I know sometimes you might be there till 5:30, but come on, an hour and a half, you don't call. You don't care about me. You don't care about the kids. You don't care about our time. You love that place. You just love it there. You love your clients. You love those things more than us. I'm sick of it.
You have no idea what I go through. No idea. I go through this day and trying to make an earning for our family, and you expect a phone call and it's that time. I can't do that. You know what my work is like. You expect too much.
So, ew.
I think we proved a key point there. Anytime that we use you, it invites a defensive reaction.
You can't tell we've had that conversation before. It's pretty easy to prepare for that.
Weeks ago.
Yeah. So now we'll try it again, and this time using the I statements that you see in your book. So, all right. So I just need you to know that I feel really upset right now, and I feel really disrespected. When you don't call when you're going to be late, then I don't know what to do with the kids and I. I don't know what to do about dinner. I don't know how to plan. Should we keep homeschool going longer? And it just makes me feel like you don't care about us, or like we're not the most important. And I'm just hoping that maybe we can come to some kind of agreement where maybe if it's going to be an hour later, just call. And I'll work on not getting angry if it's going to be late, because I know sometimes I do that, and I don't want to make that difficult for you.
I really appreciate that. I really need to work on calling you at a certain time. I know you've asked that before, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. So I will really work on that. I'm sorry I didn't give you a call today.
So that was much better. And it does get calm like that, when we do that, because we're just really focused, So, in your book, there's some, there's just a few things, okay, these are things you can put into I statements. You don't have to have all things. You don't have to be talking to your spouse thinking, okay, I've got to have a description of my behavior. Okay, now I have to say how I feel. You don't have to go through all that, but you get the idea. You're just speaking about how this makes you feel, how this affects you. Then no one feels like, they're being ganged up on. So we're going to get a chance to practice that now. On page 4.4, there's a whole chart of feeling words. That's something you can use if you want. There are 168 feeling words on here, and
Counted them?
I counted them. Yes, and but it's just a reference. If you're stumped on describing how you're feeling, then there's 168 things that you can go to. So anyway, you're going to get a chance now to do this. We're going to spend about, I think, 15 minutes or so at the table, and you're going to get a chance to practice. So you need to come up with a conflict. It's just something small, not something large. Maybe like you left your underwear on the bathroom floor. I have a teenage boy, so yeah. But and then someone will go first, and just. Talking to your spouse about that, just do some you statements. Your spouse will listen, and then kind of tell you how that felt. Obviously, and then try some I statements, and then see how your spouse feels about that, and then you'll just flip flop. So about 10 minutes there, and then 5 or 10 maybe at the table afterwards. So maybe I'll kind of call out when it's been 5 minutes, and you can trade places with your spouse, and then when that's done, we'll call table time. All right.